I got a question for these so-called hypocritical ass Christians. Why in the hell? I, Look, I got so much to say. I don't even know where to even start at. But how can you claim that you love God and they most of them swear up and down, and it's like, um, let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah for a minute. My sister had a lot of questions for me too. And I told her to go home and read Deuteronomy. So I said, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give her the basics. I'm really concerned because I'm going to do everything in my power is to make sure that my sister understands everything about the history of our inheritance as I'm seeking to get understanding. I feel like I have a real good understanding of it to a degree, but there is still room for a better understanding. So I'm still seeking too. All right. This is going to be related to the lost books of the Bible. No, wait a minute. No, not the lost books of the Bible, but it's going to relate to the people that don't, no matter what you show them, they still gonna choose to understand it their way. Let's look at Isaiah 28 and verse 7. And this is what our people don't realize. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink, are out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. See, people claim that they have a vision from the Lord, from the Most High. But the Most High said they err in vision. They stumble in judgment. That means they walk and they not overlooking what they should be telling the people. For all of the tables are full of vomit. Bunch of bullshit. They teaching the people vomit, garbage. That's what it's saying, and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. That means they doing all kind of stuff. They eating unclean foods. They doing things that God said don't do. Let me show you something. Let me show you how do I know that. Leviticus 11 and 7. The Bible says, and the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and be clothed footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. And of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. See that? The Bible says, and then let's go back and read it. For all, Isaiah 28 and verse 8, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. That means that no place in their spirit, their heart, nowhere in their heart that are they clean. They're not clean in spirit nor in mind. They're not clean. Now the heart represents the mind. When you look at the word heart, when you study the word heart represents the mind. So when it says there is no place clean, the heart is really talking about your mind. Their minds are not clean. Their thoughts. It's the thoughts of what you think. That means they wake up with evil on their mind. They wake up with, they want to do their own thing basically. When you tell them things from the Bible, what they should be doing, they refuse to adhere to it. Now let's read this here. It says they err in vision. That means they tell people a vain thing. They walking around telling the people lie, and they just don't care. They err in vision. Err means to, um, you know, like it's false. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna look it up in a minute. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. That means that they just the main things they should be reading to people, they just walk all through it. They just jump over it and skip and go to the New Testament and tell you, oh, we living in the New Testament. They stumble. They don't want to actually read nothing. You know, it says, verse 9, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak unto this people. See, this is going into talking about how we had a Hebrew language. We have an Aramaic, which is a Hebrew language. But the Bible was translated in, the King James was translated in 1604, and it was completed in 1611, meaning that they took and they removed 80 books from the Bible. They got one called the Wisdom of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13, the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13, Wisdom of Solomon 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, and 19, 18, and 19, and 20. And the wisdom, I think it goes up to Wisdom of Solomon 24. And then they got 1st and 2nd Esdras, and 1st and 2nd Maccabees, in the book of Tobias. All of those are the 80 books that was removed from the Bible. And this is the reason why a lot of our people, let's read verses 29. It says, now this is the main point. I really went over what I should have read, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to touch on it a little bit later. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 10. For the Lord had poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, and the prophets and your rulers and the seers have he covered. And the vision of all of this is become unto you as the words of a book. Oh my goodness. Words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed. Meaning that this is going into talking about how people, no matter what you tell them, their mind is made up. They're going to do what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? That means no matter how you try to tell them, they exercise it in their spirit and their mind that they're right. That means that they can't. It's like, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, listen to this. It says, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Therefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. And this is what the Christian churches need to read. They don't take time to do these breakdowns like this in. And their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. See that? The Bible says that they fear is taught by the precepts of man. You can't go, it says the precepts of men. That means you can't go on what man is telling you. Man is lying. What did the Bible says? It said, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work amongst this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hidden. That means that I was talking about this in another video earlier today, about 3 or 4 hours ago, I believe. I said that there is good wisdom out there, and there is some bad wisdom. You know, there's some good wisdom and there's some bad wisdom. You can't trust every wisdom out there. Some wisdom will lead your ass to hell. All wisdom is not good. There's a difference in between foolish wisdom, the wisdom of the world, and the wisdom of God. You want the wisdom of the Yahushua, the God of Israel, because all wisdom out there is not good. Just because it may be wisdom doesn't mean that they got some wisdom that can give you bad advice, and they got some wisdom that can give you some good advice. And the good advice wisdom is the one that's going to keep you. Let me add something to that. I'm going to come back probably tomorrow, and I'm going to read some more. And this is something that the Christian churches is not really doing for the people. The Christian churches is just filling the pews up and telling the people a bunch of damn lies. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care how you feel. Look what it says. This is for you, old fake Pastor Porkchop, and all of the members that sit up in that high memos. The Lord say, and I'm going to do this and No, this is for y'all so-called pastors and y'all so-called Christians who is letting y'all pastors mislead y'all. It says, 1 John 4:1, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesses not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist. Antichrist means against or instead of Christ. It's anti. You know what I mean? Anti means against. So anything that is anti is not real. It looks resemble to the real, but it's not real. You see what I'm saying? But it says, beloved, believe not every spirit. You can't believe everything people tell you. You got to test it. When people tell you, for example, well, baby, I don't have to read that. I know I'm a child of God. I don't have to read that. What did the Bible say? Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit. You got to test that, what they just said. You can't go on what they just told you, because they're leading you to hell and damnation. And they don't even know it. They think they're doing right. That's why I read in Isaiah. He said, this people honor me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but their mind is far from me. They want to do what they want to do. You bring these scriptures out, they don't want to hear nothing about this. So, on that note, I'm going to say peace and love to my people of color, and I'm going to see y'all later. I'm out. What can I name this video? Don't believe every spirit, but test these spirits according to doing your own research. You got to test, prove, and test what people say. Don't just believe anything you hear individuals say. Don't even follow what the hell I say. Get you a book and do your own research. That's what this video is all about. Don't believe everything everybody tell you, but test what they say. Whatever people tell you, put it to the test. See if it's right. Look it up for yourself. Whatever people tell you, take your time and just test it. Meaning, look it up for yourself to see if it's right, because they can be wrong. But you have a lot of people in the Christian churches telling people a bunch of damn lies. And these pastors, T.D. Jakes, Clefto, and all them people, they not telling their people the real deal. They misleading their people. They misleading the whole congregation. Peace and love, my people of color, and I'm out.